Hello everyone, coming to you live here from the Mount of Olives. You might be able to hear in the background some yelling. It is Ramadan and they are going from it. Let me show you this view we've got here from the Mount of Olives. So here we are on the Mount of Olives. There is where the Temple Mount is. Obviously the Dome of the Rock there is where the temple used to stand. The Holy of Holies is considered where they are, and we are up here. It is a magnificent view. The security is the highest we've ever seen. There are police, IDF everywhere, drones circling, helicopters as Ramadan has begun. And actually, we're walking down the street today and we had to turn around and go a different way because of a suspicious package, and they had the bomb squad coming in. But we are safe. We are okay. We're in God's will, so we're not doing anything dumb. And but you know what's significant about this place is this is where David ran when Absalom took over. He ran to this place, to the Mount of Olives here, to hide out for a season as he was running from that. And then what's really interesting is then David's son, King Solomon, he came here and considered the wisest man to ever walk the face of the earth. He did some dumb things too. He built two high places here. He built one to the god of the Moabites and one to the god of the Ammonites. And what's really interesting about this is when he began this fall, God told David that his lineage, that the Messiah would come through David, and then it was supposed to come through Solomon. But when Solomon had 1,000 women and started to serve their gods and build these high places and do that, the kingdom was stripped from him. You can read that, I believe it's in 1 Kings 11, where the entire kingdom was stripped. So if you've ever read the Gospels in Matthew and Luke, and you see two genealogies there, the reason why that is because you have the genealogy of Joseph, who goes through Solomon. But see, the kingdom was stripped from Solomon. And in Luke, the genealogy is to Mary, who is the only one who would, Joseph was not the real father. And her genealogy would be the genealogy through David, through to the Messiah. So, they try to say he can't be the legitimate Messiah. Sorry, that doesn't work because Mary's lineage works for that. And so we have this, but I mean, I can't imagine when Jesus would come here or anybody. Bethany is on the east side. It's behind me, where Lazarus and Mary and Martha lived, and he would come here and have this view, absolute view that he would have of the temple, being right there where he would see it. And obviously we know you can't really see it, but they say over here by right about somewhere in there is the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus, prayed and the disciples fell asleep. And then he got on a donkey, and if you can see, let me see if I can zoom it in here. This, trying to get my finger, that gate right there, that is where Jesus would have rode the donkey right in there on the triumphal entry. He would have went right through there, and you can see how, trying to zoom back out, I'm sorry, I might have to flip the camera. So you'll be able to see here when I flip it back over here, because it wouldn't let me zoom out, how close that entrance is to the temple, how close that would have been right there as he entered in through that gate with riding on the donkey. And so this is the spot where then, after his death, burial, and resurrection, he was meeting with the disciples here up on the Mount of Olives, and where he then ascended into heaven, where he ascended, and the same way he left, he's coming back. The Bible talks about that there is going to be a time where his foot steps here on the Mount of Olives and splits it in two. And they say that same spot that I showed you, where he went in through the gate on the donkey, that's where he's going to enter once again. And this time it's going to be a lot different. And so this is just an incredible area up here. And just the view, we just a few minutes ago, we took communion overlooking all this, and just having a real you know, it's incredible. You're lost for words as you see these things begin to just come to life, seeing where things would happen, where if you look here, you've got here the southern side where the video I took yesterday was, talking about the day of Pentecost. You know, you have the entire, you see the old city, just a magnificent view from up here on the Mount of Olives. Now, there used to be a lot more olive trees up here, hence the reason why, but this is below me, obviously the cemetery that I've mentioned in previous broadcasts and different things. So this is just a location where we see in the Old Testament, we see in the New Testament that Jesus was a part of this. This is where he started his journey. Now, I will tell you, we walked up this hill from the bottom, and it was no easy walk. It is a steep grade, and that is what you're seeing there. What we walked, we came out of the city, out of the Lion Gate, and then we walked through the Kidron Valley to come up here, up onto the Mount of Olives, where David would have come, where Jesus would have come, where many people through time would have come through here, just biblically, and we see these things. And so anyway, just wanted to show you what we got going today and what we're doing. And you can see just it's just a wonder. It's almost breathtaking. But I want to say one thing. I'm going to do a live. I don't know what day it'll be, but I'm gonna go to a place that I don't think any tour guide would take you. And I had no idea that literally it was right below where we're staying. And it's literally many scripture verses talk. There's a lot of verses. It would not be your normal place to go, and you'll find out why when I do a live from there. But it's interesting. A lot of things that we know about some topics come from this valley I'm going to go to, that literally is between Sukkot and coming into the old city. There's a valley there, and I'll just give you a hint. It is the Valley of Hinnom. And if you know anything about the Valley of Hinnom, then you have a little bit of idea of what I might be talking about. So that is something we're going to do, give a little bit more. So again, today from the Mount of Olives, this is where we are. Once again, let me just show you this view that we have from the Mount of Olives. This has been an incredible journey. Obviously, there's a lot of sites we're not being able to see because of our, we're not on a tour, but I'm going to tell you, it's incredible because we're able to take our time at each of these sites and just soak it in. I mean, yesterday when we were down there at the southern gate right there, at the southern entrance into the temple, where those steps are that are right there that I'm showing, I mean, you could feel the presence of God. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible, and this is just beautiful here. So anyway, that is it for today. Love you guys. Please like, share the broadcast, let people experience this with us and get this out. And so until our next broadcast, we love you, and we'll see you then.